Okay, so again, this is the last class. I'm excited and same time I'm also sad because it was a ritual for me every noon before I eat lunch, because I eat lunch after I finish it talking with you guys. And as you know that you should eat your lunch now, because this I by no mean I prevent you guys to eat or stay hungry, but I can't eat. I love to eat, so when I eat, I can't speak. Food will be all over my mouth. So that's why I don't eat during the class. And one thing I also wanted to share is the last few class I didn't even recognize. When I saw my own videos, I saw there is a mustache, which I didn't have it. So I learned that during the class, one of my PhD students shows how to put a mustache on because she was putting the mustache. So I thought, Jamie, how come you have a mustache? So then she showed me how to do that, and then I put it on without realizing that I never took it off. So I had meeting with collaborators, my colleagues, and many people after that, and I never even realized the day before the last class I saved it myself. So I said I saved it. Why there is a mustache there? It's a very faint one. So I found it, and then I realized, oh God, So, but anyway, there's something I forgot. And so maybe last three class you have seen my mustache. That's not my real mustache. I don't have. I usually save it myself. Um, but that's the part of the Zoom. We I wish we had met in person because I think there is nothing. That the final class is always very. It's a different class for me because I get to see you guys, say bye to all of you. But in this kind of class we can't. So well, I hope to see you guys before you graduate because I know some of you will graduate this year. But either way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. You always know where I am. So you have my email ID. So always send me email if you need any questions about your careers or anything. Any question. I'm not really or anything related to environmental engineering. I'm here to give you specific directions. So having said that, let's get to this class announcement. First one, homework 7. I know this is not the time for you to spend so much time on homework because I know some of the finals are this week. So with recognizing that, I extend the deadline to Sunday, and also you just have to give effort. We are not going to grade it for correctness. I want you guys to try it because this is part of the final. So I don't want you to not completely submit and get credits, because that I could have done. So that's why I want you guys to try whatever you feel. Write it, try it, submit. As long as you submit, you get a full points. Okay, so it is given for effort. But if you submit your blank paper, everything, you are not learning it. That means in final you will also have difficulty. So I just don't want you guys to take this stress for homework when you have to focus on your finals in other classes. So submit whatever you can until Sunday night, um, and try give effort, ask questions on that, and release the solutions for homework 7 on Sunday night midnight. Okay, so that's why I expect you to submit before then. Quiz 3 was due until midnight, until noon today. So I have not seen the grade. I saw last time 10 minutes ago 188 students attended the quiz because it's optional. That means if you don't attend, you're not getting zero. What you are getting is the whatever the last two quiz. So this was more like a quiz, which just to see if you did it better than any other quiz, then this is going to be your credits. Again, I will not see. I will see you most. I don't know. I'm available until the final. So that means if you send me email say that I want to meet you for any reasons, I will not say no. Okay, I will meet whenever I have time. But I usually make effort to meet if you ask me. So I'm here until the finals. Before the final, if you want to meet with me for any concern or any questions. But tomorrow, that's the official office hour. Tomorrow, noon to 1 p.m. If you have any questions, you can ask me on campus where. Yes, then I'm going to accumulate those questions and discuss part of the office hour. Or if you have any other questions, I will discuss during office hour. So that's for the announcement. And again, learning objective of today class is mostly final tips. So we'll share experience. What works for students, what um, doesn't work for students well before, and some of the experience is related to in-person class. So that means those previous finals were in class final. It was closed book, so there are some differences. So you should also be aware of that pro and cons of open book exam. Something I also learned during this midterm. So I'm going to share all those experience based on the midterms. But what I want to say is that even though this is the last class, doesn't mean that we are not going. We are going away. We are still available to answer any questions through CampusWare. And the one other thing you could do is solve any questions, any example questions that TA has given you. Okay, so because TA have given more examples than I gave in the class. Every TA has given separate exams, so they have shared the video, they have shared the solution. So it's good to go back and watch them and just do on yourself, because when you have the questions in final, it's a stress. You are thinking of, you have 6 hours whatever time. If you have done similar question before, it gives you some advantage. If you're seeing a question first time, it doesn't work always. So that's why look at all the examples again and ask TA the questions. Through any question you ask on campus, where TA will be more active after today. The reason is they don't have any discussion hours, so that means they will be able to answer those questions more timely. Um, and also at the end of the day, think of, we don't want you to do poorly. We all want you to do well. It's our best interest. School put us here not for us to for you to struggle. We're here to help you. So you just have to ask all these questions. Um, so that's the more importantly, just work on your own by going over all the examples and then come back to ask us. So I asked the TA to be here today so that they can share two things. First, their experience of this quarter. Particularly Agnes Renan have been TA before in this. And Vera, is this your first time TA 153? Or
No,
this?
second.
Oh, this is second time. So they are all experienced TAs, in the sense. So they will share few words with you about their experience of whatever they have to say, because you will probably not see them again if you don't attend any of the office hour if they propose. So I thought this is an opportunity for you guys to listen to them. And most importantly, Vera, Anes, Renan, give any tips, because you have graded one questions in midterms, at least one question. So what we did is we grade one questions, each TA grade one questions in the midterms. So that is it's across entire, everybody is graded the same way. And then I check if anything, anytime you lose point, I check those credits. If they give full points, I never check them. Um, and usually, I ask them, and they are also kind of similar. They were student very few years ago, so they feel for you guys. So they are very lenient in my view, to look for whatever things you can expect to get. So that's why they look for little things what you thought. So anything you can write that helps them think, okay, this is what the student thought, it will be more fair for them to give you credits. So that's why I asked them to come here today. So we'll start with doesn't matter whoever, because in my screen I see Vera first. So Vera first, then Renan, then Anesh. That's how I saw it. um, so Vera, go ahead and share the screen. Let me share the screen for what I see. So unshare the screen. So that means that way,
Oh, it's okay.
at least it's visible in that way.
Okay.
Okay. All
So
right.
I'm just gonna say some tips for the like grading. I don't know. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Vera. I'm one of the TAs, and I think the most important thing for grading, make sure you tag your pages. Like on Gradescope, I feel like majority of you, like 90% of you, are doing it, so that's already great. It makes it grading much easier and faster. Then try to write all the steps. Don't leave any pages blank. Just like even if you write like a formula, you'll already get some points. So just like believe in yourself and just write something. And if you're writing, try to add like more steps, and just not just write the final answer, because sometimes it doesn't, if it's wrong you get no points. If it's right, or like if it's something is off but then you wrote the equations and everything, we can give you some points. This is like a lot of partial credit. So, and then try to like highlight your answer, put a box around it, like color it, and make sure your homework is like good quality. And yeah, I think, oh, not homework, final. So to ease the grading. And I really enjoyed seeing you guys. It was super fun. It was a little weird over Zoom, but I think we managed. And yeah, submit your I think like, what's it called, uh, I don't remember, like feedback form or whatever it's called. Yeah. And yeah, to help me improve and help everyone improve.
I also want to say that Vera has a very stressful quarter, because not because of TA. She was TA, and also she had exams for PhD comprehensive exam, which if she pass, which she will be a PhD candidate. So that's one thing. And so like any other research she was doing, so there are lots of things going on with Vera. So despite that, she was available and was helpful. So I'm pretty happy
Oh,
and grateful that she was able to
and
spend
Sanjay, do
that.
you have office hours tomorrow, 12 to 1? Because I
Yes.
also, okay, I'll just change my office hours then. It's good.
Okay.
It's fine.
Right. All right, Renan, and that's now you.
Um, Hi, everyone. I'm Brandon, one of the TAs of the course. First of all, thanks for everyone that attended my discussion on Monday mornings. I think that was the hardest discussion to attend Monday at 9 a.m., but I really appreciate you guys coming and bringing questions. And I definitely learned a lot, even though it's the second time teaching this course. There's always room to improve, you know. And I actually kind of enjoy the Zoom teaching, because we would all have to go to the university, and I think we did a okay job through Zoom. It was pretty good, like conversation and stuff. So thanks for attending. And I some of the tips for the finals, pretty much in the same lines as Vera said. What the biggest, I would say, where people were losing the most points was by not writing anything in their answers. So I would recommend at least writing something, some starting of your thoughts. There was even one person that I graded for midterm that this person couldn't finish the midterm or the last question, but at least the person said, like, I cannot finish, but I know how to do this, and here are the steps. And the person literally wrote, like, step one, I need to calculate this. Step two, and at least just by showing that, it showed that the person knew how to do it, even though the person didn't receive full credit. We could at least give credit for the person. So just don't leave anything blank. Put don't write like just numbers, but like give some effort, even if it's like a very final, very like rough draft. Um, and yeah, please tag all the pages, because that's very important and easy for us to grade. Um, and just I'm available. I have office hours tomorrow from 2 to 3 p.m. So if you have any last minute questions, feel free. You guys have my email as well, and I'm leaving here my website, where you guys can find my email, the work that we do in the lab. If any of you is interested in environmental engineering type of research, we mostly focus on stormwater. So you can find a lot of the works that I'm related to in my website, and there is link to like my social media, like LinkedIn, where we can connect and stay connected to the future, because I think that's an important thing. And feel free to reach out to me, whenever you have questions. I'm always very free to talk. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Renan. Renan has a nice website. I want to also be make sure that other TAs are also equally visible. So the link I sent there is the link I sent here is for my website, lab website, which which has the team members. If you go there right now, you'll see Renan on the first, because he's my first PhD students. And if you click a right arrow mark, it shows about research interest and whatever the works he has done. And then same thing for Ernest, Mariam's, and Vera. So they are all there. Their email is there. I think, something I would say I'm very proud of our TAs are that they are very open to help you, not just for this class, but also beyond this class. Many of you are going to apply for grad school, and I know this is something important for many of you. And these are the students who have experience of applying grad school and successfully getting admissions in many schools, including UCLA. So these are the things you could ask them, not just now, beyond this time. So take advantage of that. Just know them. They know that you personally, at least know if you attended their office hours. So ask them questions. Drop a few lines anytime you need helps. So they are there. As I said, I don't take this class as an end. This is a beginning for our um, collegiality, something colleague. I treat you as my colleague for life. That's why I ask you to join in LinkedIn so that I know you wherever you are. If you want to connect with me, that way, anytime you have a question, you can drop a chat or anything. So this is something advantage. I know that Vera and Jamie, they have given a workshop where they talk about graduate school applications, and this is on YouTube. If you need that link, you can see in our lab website, or if not, we could send you that link. And now it's Anes.
Hi everyone. I was the TA for the Friday discussion from 5 to 6, and this was Renan may say his was the hardest because it's morning and Monday, but I'll say mine is the second hardest because it's Friday night. Who wants it on a Friday night? So thanks whoever attended my discussion. Thanks for bearing with me. It was like a new learning experience. Like every year, Sanjay changes the syllabus, so we have to read the whole book again. And thank you, Sanjay, for that. And so, and also, so when they ask questions, I have to sometimes like read the whole book and like, oh yeah, that's what it is. So this was a really good learning experience, even for the students as well as for the TAs. And that's it. And also for this for the exams, I would like to say that as Venan and Vera says, the most important thing is just write something. Don't just leave it blank. Secondly, and also tag the papers to the corresponding questions. That is also an important thing. And finally, most of you write it properly, but some papers I found which in which the lines of the paper actually show up more than the writing on this. So it gets hard to see which is the writing. So ensure that the paper on which you're writing and you're clicking a picture of it is it does not interfere with your writing, so we can read it properly. So that is one important thing. And all the best for your exams. I'm sure you'll rock it. You got the experience in your midterm and in your quiz. And so the finals is much, much, much easier than the midterm. So don't worry about it. And that's it. And after finals, after your course is complete, I'm also a TA for CEE154. So whoever is attending, you'll find me there again. And also, if you want to stay in contact, we can also, one important thing is if you're applying for grad school, as Sanjay said, it's very good if you have a publication. So if you're in a second or third year, try to join a lab. Like our lab is always open for undergrad students. Try to join a lab like Vera has already has 2 people in her this thing which have like 2 papers already. So if think about they're applying for NSF and stuff. So even your application will be very good if you have a publication. So try working in the lab, and you can always email me or Renan or Vera. Look up in our website that Sanjay sent us. We have our research interests, whichever you can email us, and we can work together with you. Okay, that's it.
Thanks, Anes. Anes always underestimate his capacity. He always worry that he's not good enough. That's something but he's very good now. So that's one thing. And I changed the book because I know that the last 2 books, I've been trying to look for a book that is good for students. And the other book I used before is cheap. So I thought, always I look for a cost, because I feel like I don't want students to pay $100 for a book. So that's why I chose different books which are newer and which have cheaper options, but then the content was not very good. So I finally went back to the original book, which was used by the previous instructor. So I'm not going to change it anymore. The reason is I'm now providing PDFs, so you don't have to buy the book. Um, Eventually, I want to write at least the sections in a clear way, because book doesn't provide everything always. That way, nobody has to pay for the book again. That's something I strongly believe that a lot of times that $100 could be a lot of difference for many families. So, and particularly during pandemic, I was really very torn out, because I don't want you guys to pay for anything. This is already hard enough for many students. So I think that's all from student. Mariam could not be here because she's in Iran, and it's already midnight there. And I didn't also give her a choice, in the sense I didn't announce that they have to come here today. But Mariam might have office hour sometimes. Feel free to say a good word for her, because she was the I think the lead TA here. She has been TA in this class with the previous instructor, and she's a very passionate TA in the sense that she loved to be a teacher at some point in her life. So that's why I think she would appreciate anything you said. All right. So TAs, you if you want to stick around, it's fine. Otherwise, you can leave. Now we'll discuss about finals and all that other aspect.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
All right. Let me start sharing again the screen. Give me a second, because I have a member here. He's not leaving me alone. So you just say hello. Say bye to everyone. This is your chance. Okay. All right. So let me put him back and come. All right. So let's see. Let me share the screen. What I'm sharing. Okay. Okay, it's a little bit slow. So, all right. So, final format. This question is related to what kind of format it will have. First is, um, again, this is on the syllabus. Is the actual time? If this was in person class, it would have been 3 p.m. To 6 p.m. But that's not true now, because the reason is, it is a open book, as well as this is COVID time. So that's why you need. So that's why the way I said the question, you need maximum 3 hours. But based on my own experience, whatever I think, even you need 3 hours. And the midterms was a little bit harder, and I admit that one, because there are a lot of questions that you had to go through. So sometimes it might become difficult to finish in time with all the pressure. And I don't know what going on right now. My kid is interfering everything I do. So I assume that everybody has something to deal with at home. So I always give a little bit more time than I think. So that's the reason I give 6 hours. It's not that I'm setting a question that will take you 6 hours. I just don't want people to leave anything blank, because I think it's unfair for the students as well as for the instructor, because I want you to write whatever you think about that questions. And this, you should get the opportunity to actually work on something that you work so hard for. So that's why this 6 hours. So don't take this one as 6 hour exam. Um, Again, but the exam will be released on Thursday. It will be released on Thursday midnight. Thursday midnight released, and it will be active until um, Saturday noon. Okay. So what does that mean is, you can take any time within 6 hour window between that. But the issue is that I will not be because I remember during the midterms, all the time I had to answer question at night, midnight, everywhere. It's unrealistic. I cannot commit for something that I may fail to meet the. So that's why what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. was roughly the time when the actual exam supposed to be. I will answer most of the questions that you asked before. Um, and TA will be available. It's not like I'm the only person who is supposed to answer. TA can also answer. But any question asked between 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday when the original scheduled time, I'll answer immediately. I'll make myself available, do nothing else other than waiting for your question during that time. But anything you asked before, it's not like I will not answer, but I'm not committing that I will answer. Uh, so you have more than 24 hours. Thursday midnight. Uh, Midnight means just when the Friday start to Saturday noon. Okay, so it's entire Friday plus extra another 12 hours you get. So you have roughly 36 hours window to submit your finals. But literally, I expect you to start working on your finals during Friday. Okay, so don't wait to the last moments. But anyway, so that's all. So that's this time given to you so that you are flexible to work anytime. So again, you need 3 hours and roughly 3 hours, maybe 4 hour maximum, but not more than that. I gave you 6 hours just in case for few students who, not few students, at least, I would say 5% student sometimes leave the entire, some other question completely blank, which was, we could not give any points. So we don't know whether it's because of time or because they don't know how to answer. But it was open book exam, so I expect you to have examples somewhere, so you can't just leave it blank, when you know exactly similar questions were there. So that's the reason I said it 6 hours. So that's the time aspect. So this is again, I just want to write it here. You have 36-hour window. So that's, I would say December 18, I would say 00 military time, okay? Or 12 a.m., if I say 12 a.m. To December 19, 12 p.m. So that means at noon, okay? That's noon. So you can submit within that time, but you have, once you open it, you have 6 hour window from that time uh, start from that time. And also, even though 6 hour, don't wait for the last moment, because I know last time somebody, if once you are that some 1 minute, 10 minutes, 5 minutes window, somehow, either I don't know whether grade score block you out or not, but just don't wait for the last 5 minutes. Upload everything what you have, and then your last page, maybe you are looking for another page or whatever, you can do that. That way you are not risking that you have to send me emails, then it becomes an issue. Um, so the question asked was, where should we ask questions? You can ask question via CampusWare. Email is always a risk. The reason is I get like 500-600 emails every day, and it's very easy for me to, some emails to get buried. And that means, if I didn't see it, I will not respond it. So that's why it's very safe to ask by CampusWare, because I do get the notification, or at least I can go back there, no other things to bury it. It shows me how much unread message I have. So that's why I always prefer CampusWare. But I'm not saying that you should not send email. If you send email, just I am I'm more likely I'll miss it. I'll try to respond as much as I see them. All right, the format is again same as midterms. It's open book, 3 long questions. I want to suggest that there are 2 questions. Let's start from the air quality. That's homework 7. Okay. So you have 2 questions on homework related to air quality. This is going to be very similar questions with some concept in it, just to make it 10 point. But the numerical part is very similar. You have given something, you are looking for a concentration at the ground level at some locations, from distance. You will make assumption of the wind speed and all that stuff, or wind stability. These are all related to homework 7, so you should be able to do that. And wastewater treatment plants operation, that's homework 6. Okay, so that's something you should be also get any kind of anything you do example from there, you will be able to get that similar to that. And one mass balance concept applied to wastewater treatments. Okay, so that's something related to, is already given in the homework 6, but I want to suggest that homework 6 and examples. I'm not messing it up. Examples problem. I shared a Microsoft the PDF with 5 or 6 questions. Those are extra example questions where you apply mass balance concept and also homework 6. So this is where wastewater is actually, you know what is being treated, what's the effluent, and then it's discharged into a river or a stream, and then you are asked to calculate what's the concentration of the BOD after it moves through the stream. So it's where you have a wastewater treatment plant, whatever things happen there, and it discharges to a stream. Okay. So this is where you are, when you solve the stream problem, you need mass balance concept again, or a pond or whatever it is. So those things are relevant there. So you have 3 questions in that way, and then you have 10 short questions. And many of the short questions in the finals are actually concept questions. Concept means it's similar, but you don't. It's similar to numerical in the sense that here you can write your thought. If you have a numerical or there is equation that you can explain it, that's fine. Write the equations. But here I'm not asking you to actually calculate something that I did for the midterms. There will be some, but not a lot like midterms. So it saves you time. And second, also it gives you more opportunity to write something and not get zero at all. Because if you write your thoughts, wrong or right, if I understand it, you'll get points. That's what the TAs were saying. And there will be some numerical questions. So that's not like going away anyway, but there will be less than what is in the midterms. Again, the tips would be that don't leave anything blank. This is, I cannot emphasize enough, because even though you don't know how to write it, answer it, just think what is being asked, and whatever you understood, wherever it is, and try to connect that with that. This is also a great way to learn about interview. In any interview you will face in future in your job, you'll be asked questions that you don't have any idea about. But when you say nothing, you prevent that opportunity. So what they literally want you to connect what you know already to try to understand the question itself. So you'll have to connect with whatever you know to try to use that to answer that particular questions. Whatever wrong answer, right answer, but you have to give your thought. So this is exactly what this question prepare you for, to write your thoughts process about these particular problems. So do write those. And even in the numerical questions, try to understand what is being asked, what that means connected to the overall concept of that problems. And write your thought, even though you don't know how to answer it. Like Renan or somebody says that students wrote, I don't have time, but I can answer this. This is the way I would do it. Still, that for that you get partial credit for that. And if you want to do completely well, all the numerical questions, do your homework. uh, I mean, not do your homework. All the homeworks that's given to you, 6 and 7, um, 6 and 7, those are 11 for this final. Um, do those. And like when on essays, usually final is easier than midterms. The reason is you have less material to go through because only 2 homework and also few chapters. And many of the chapters are also, specific questions are from them. So this is, you have 3 chapters to go through. One is um, wastewater treatment plant, and that's one questions or one concept. Then you have waste management, where you have to deal with all these hazardous waste and stuff like that. And the third one is air quality. And everything after air quality, what we covered last this class, sustainability, they are not part of the final. So you don't have to worry about anything we covered this week, or at least the last class. So you have three chapters, or technically three types of concept to go through in the final, as opposed to midterm has a lot more materials. So that's why I say, try hard. Now this is important that this is your final, and final has also more points. If you see final has 40 points, or I forgot how much compared to midterms. So if you do well in the final, it carry a lot more weight. So whatever you have done in the midterms, I would not worry too much at this point. Try to do well in the final. And more importantly, learn the concept behind the answer. So now when you go back for the homeworks, just don't look at what is the steps, try to memorize, because the actual question may not be exactly similar in the final. And I will not put a question which is very very same, because that defeat the purpose. I do that for the closed book exam, not for the open book, because open book you have access to everything, and the closed book exams, the student do not have access to their homeworks, all that. They have just 2 pages of cheat sheet, whatever they can write, or to 1 page both side. So that's why if you when you compare the final question from the last year to this year, be also careful in that concept. The short question will be very similar. The long questions, some of the long questions are exactly like homework, but now it will be similar to homework, but at least I may change, what is being asked. So one, maybe I change one thing which is given before and now make another unknown, which is a part of the same process. It's just use reverse the equation different to find the unknown. But the concepts are very similar. So that's why I say learn the concept behind the answer, so that when you see a questions, you know at least what is being asked. And as I said, it should not be difficult if you have done the homeworks 6 and 7 and all the example question given to you. Because when I said question, I look at them. I don't look at new question to look for. Again, at the end, my job is not to make it harder for you, even though that may appear like when you do poorly in the exams or do not as much as you thought. But just know that everything I do is not. Let me share one thing. You might think that I know everything about this particular class. I don't. Um, I have been teaching for 4 years, and I'm learning every time I teach this class something new. So it's not the same to know to learn that you don't know a lot, because this is a process. We learn every day new things. So I would rather try whatever you can. So that's the tips I have for now. What I'll do in the next hub is go through some of the final questions. But before that, this is something I want to personally request you guys, because this particular course is evaluated by ABET. A bit, so this is basically engineering accreditation. So this is very important that students write what they are the field of the survey, and that's department needed. So that's why I also use the final class to ask you guys completely, whoever here, to fill that survey. So we have, what I'll do is I'll give you, this is 12:45. I give you until 1 o'clock to fill the form. And so please go ahead and do it now. You have that in my email. And then we'll join after, let's say, 10 minutes. 10 at 12:55, I'll come back, and then we'll go through some questions. So if you don't have the link, let me know. Let me look for if I have a link somewhere, but basically course assessment form. Course evaluations. If anybody has the link, you can send it to students on the chat window. I'm searching now. So if you go, okay, somebody says you can go to my UCLA and see it. So let me go to my UCLA and see if I can get that access. Okay, I'm going to stop recording now.